Stories from the Outbreak is a difficult turn-based pixelated roguelike which sees us follow the journey of various survivors in a zombie apocalypse, fighting through hordes of mutated creatures in a relentless combat system with one huge flaw. After a couple of hours of losing many survivors to the undead, I will tell you if Stories from the Outbreak is a real fun or a refund. With a growing roster of fighters, we start our journey through a zombie-infested city in Latvia, tread on dangerous paths, facing tough decisions while encountering other survivors and gather food to maintain our health, as well as fuel to buy our character's passage on a boat to salvation. On the way to the ferry, our group gains inspiration points to increase their stats and upgrade abilities, grow closer together via simple yet impactful dialogues, and pick up trinkets to boost our team's versatile combat style. The battles are done in a turn-based combat with up to 4 characters per side. Each combatant has a toolkit of various skills, ranging from protective actions and supporting maneuvers to devastating offensive hits, leaving our enemies with an array of debuffs like poison or bleeding. These ailments continuously deal damage and are tracked on a time bar, which also shows who attacks next, since the many different skills of our team have different tick counters. These ticks determine when the next action can be performed, with more impactful skills taking longer to recharge. The telegraphed attacks of our enemies can target specific positions and rows, making the choice of our lineup essential. Luckily, each survivor not only has their own weapon and great animations, but also specific roles, like the tanking survivor Victoria, who hits her enemies with a shovel while putting up negating effects for her allies, or Dimitri, completing his mafia outfit with a crowbar, hitting every enemy and gaining additional focus. This focus is a special resource each fighter has, which increases by performing skills, enhances the outgoing damage, and when reaching a multiple of 4, like 8, 12, 16, I think you get it, once we reach such a number, each character has the choice of 1-3 buffs to activate. For example, Cintars.
Nikolaj.
Not even close. Nikolaj. Almost Nikolaj.
The Doctor can give additional focus points for his allies, bleeding stacks for the enemies, or cleanses poison stacks of a survivor, to name one example. These focus points allow us to grow stronger the longer the fight persists, resulting in us changing our strategy and skill usage mid-fight. After each battle, we are rewarded with inspiration points, more on those later, and gain 2 valuable resources, namely food and fuel, with the former allowing us to heal up before boss fights, while the latter is used as a currency at the end of a successful run. Reaching the end of the hard journey through 3 map sections and taking down a mutated enemy even Charles Xavier wouldn't take in, we are placed before the tough decision of choosing which survivor gets to travel to the safe haven outside of Latvia. This decision affects upcoming runs, since we unlock new characters, trinkets, abilities, background stories, and to beef up the replayability, new modes and difficulty settings. Each new run allows us to experiment with the team composition, since we will encounter more than just 4 survivors during a run. This gives us the option to change our group setup for an easier journey through the map sections, which, typically to roguelikes, have various scenarios and routes we can take. The unused survivors can be sent to train, gaining the already mentioned inspiration points. These see us enhance our character's overall stats, like armor, which builds up a protective shield, agility, reducing our hero's time to perform another action, or intelligence, which is often necessary in text-heavy scenarios. These see us being rewarded with more resources, or in case of failing, being punished, for example by the brutal paramilitary group, either taking away our fuel stock or kill one of our survivors. Talking about death, it is permanent during a run, so when a survivor drops down during a fight, they won't come back and will definitely miss the ferry ride to the safe haven, which is probably in Brooklyn. Stories from the Outbreak brilliantly combines text-heavy storytelling with the ruthless setting and fights of a zombie apocalypse. With its creative combat system and brutal yet child-friendly art style, more or less child-friendly, it only sees a small dam with the slight imbalance between the different survivors. But its one huge flaw nearly ruined the whole gaming experience for me. The flaw is, there is no Captain Latvi. Regardless of that, I would say that Stories of the Outbreak is a real fun instead of a refund. Would you agree with my verdict? Let me know in the comments and don't forget to clear your browser history.